What up, what up, what up, what up? This be your boy, Scotty by Nature TV, and we're here for a brand new review of The Real Housewives of Atlanta, Season 16, Episode 5. What is going on, you guys? I hope you guys are having a wonderful, wonderful Sunday, and I intend on doing the exact same thing. Now, y'all do know that before we get into any review that I got going on, I got to let you guys know a little something about what's going on, y'all. Now, after my review is over, be sure to go over to Giving You the Real Teas page. That is one of my dear friends and colleagues and panel mates. He'll be going live right after me for The Real Housewives of Atlanta, but also be prepared for the Whether You Like It or Not panel. It will be over on Yakratees' page. Everybody should be in attendance, but I'm not going to be. As I told you guys yesterday, I did not do the Beyond the Gates panel, and I won't be on the Whether You Like It or Not panel tomorrow as well. I'm taking some time to myself, and I want to get my head clear before I be able to work around other people, because I don't want to bring my energy to anybody else. So that's pretty much the reason why I won't be doing the panel tomorrow, but I will be watching, because I know it's going to be very interesting to see what everybody got to say about tonight's episode on tomorrow. And also on tomorrow, I will be going live for the Married to Medicine reunion tomorrow around 3:30. So make sure you guys tune in for that, y'all. Okay. Now, y'all messy, because there's already 100 people in this live already, and we're barely 2 minutes in. And y'all do know that I get this thing started at the 5-minute mark. So let me see what moderators that we got up in here as we get ready to get into everything. I said what I said. I see Symmetry. I see, I think those are the only 2 moderators that I see. I'm going to tell y'all, this review is going to be all over the place. I got so many different thoughts and opinions about a lot of things that transpired on tonight's episode. And I want you guys to know that I am a person that no matter who I like or who I don't like, I'm going to give it to whoever needs to get it. Okay. And if y'all all are all about team this, team that, my fave, then this ain't the video for y'all. Because let me tell you something, everybody gonna get the smoke today. Everybody pretty much gonna get the smoke on this damn review. I'm just gonna let y'all know right now before we even get this thing started. But I do know what I need to do right now, because I feel like this is going to be one of those videos. So let me just go ahead and put it out here right now.
I know some of you motherfuckers, when it come to this goddamn Real Housewives review, act like you know these bitches. But let me tell you one thing, we're not gonna do that this season. You will get motherfucking blocked with the realness. You can have your opinion about these hoes, but don't come at me about mine. It's a fucking opinion about some bitches that you or I don't fucking know. The only difference is I'm getting paid to do this review. You ain't. So mind your motherfucking marbles, bitches, because some of you hoes, when it comes to these Real Housewives, are fucking psycho. Just getting that shit out in the open before we even start this season, because I have never reviewed a show where bitches is more fucking retarded over some bitches that they don't fucking know in my life.
I just want to put that out there before we even get this thing started, because I got a feeling that people are not going to hear what I got to say. They're only going to be in their feelings about their fave. And when you watch a Scotty by Nature review, I need for you guys to think with your minds and not with your emotions, okay? That's all I'm asking. Everybody, I'm letting you know right now, everybody is entitled to their opinions. Of course, y'all can leave y'all opinions in the chat, long as y'all don't be tussling with me and long as y'all don't tussle with each other. That's all I'm asking, okay? Now, we're about to go ahead and get into it. So we got 200 people up in here already, and we're about to get into the 5-minute mark. That is 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. There we go. All right. So let's go ahead and get into this thing right now. Okay. So let me go ahead and pull my notes out. Now, we're at Shamia's house, and Angela arrives first to Shamia's house, and Shamia has like a spread of fruit out there. She got, some champagne and wine and everything sitting on the table. Like, she got it all laid out for everybody. And Shamia pretty much tells Angela that she appreciates her accepting her apology and the willingness that Angela has to move on with everything. And Angela was like, oh, absolutely. Because to be honest, all they did was get off on the wrong foot. It ain't really that damn deep to be sitting around here constantly having an issue with one another at the end of the day. Just, argue, throw your shade, move on, and that's what they're doing. I can appreciate a beef that's not necessarily dragged and drawn out. You feel what I'm saying? Like, that's all I'm saying. But for the most part, I really appreciate the fact that she is willing to move on. Both her and Shamia, to be quite honest. Now, Shamia is saying that she wants to get down to the bottom of what happened with Kenya and Britt, because she definitely doesn't understand what really happened and why did Britt go off the way that she did, right? So the next thing you know, Britt shows up. And she's like, "Hey, how you doing? I know that I did a lot last night, but whatever." And Shamia was like, "Girl, I just want to know what happened and what's going on and what went down, because I need to understand this, because I don't understand." So Angela said, "Well, first things first, I got the backlash." And that's when Shamia and Britt was like, "Well, what did you get backlash for? Like, why would you be getting backlash? Why would you be receiving backlash?" And then that's when she said, "From the damn restaurant, like all that drama that happened, I had to get the damn backlash for everything that went down the other night or whatever." And she was just like, "Oh my God." Everybody's like, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry, Angela." And Angela was like, "Okay, that's fine." And so Shamia was like, "So what's going on?" Because I'm just going to be honest with you now. I don't like it when people be cutting folks off too. Now, here's the thing. Now, when Shamia said that, and y'all know I love my girl Shamia. Y'all know I've been Team Shamia since the season started. But Shamia, I don't recall Kenya ever cutting Britt off. I don't recall her ever doing it. All I ever knowing her to do is basically shutting it down, because she already knew what was going on. She already knew that Britt was on a war path to create a moment and an issue with her, because there really wasn't no real issue. She wanted an issue, and it was just crazy to me, because at the end of the day, I'm aware that y'all don't see everything that happens, but Britt has been on Kenya's titties ever since episode 1. She's been bringing up Kenya in every episode, bringing up the fact that she's a snooty muff and all this other stuff. Been bringing that up on every damn episode. So she's been on Kenya's titties for quite some time now. And at that damn dinner, she finally found her moment to suck on her titties at that moment, because that's her daughter. So it is what it is. So then Angela, it's been brought up that Angela was the one that wrote that question about will Kenya talk nice to Britt or whatever. So Shamia was like, "Oh, you are a sneaky one." And I'm like, this is why everybody was saying that everybody was saying that Angela stirs the pot behind the scene. That's why everybody say that she stirs the pot and that she's sneaky and she's the snake that slithers, because she was the one who wrote that question. And so Angela was like, "Well, no, I was just acknowledging my friend's feelings. She felt like Kenya doesn't talk to her correctly. She feels like Kenya, dismisses her and is snooty towards her. So all I was doing was basically letting it be known that, you need to talk to her nicely. That's all I was doing. Now, what you were doing was you were stirring the goddamn pot and didn't nobody see you coming. That's what it is. It's giving Sheree 2.0, but Sheree would never be able to do no shit like that. But I definitely believe that Sheree was someone who wrote that shit on that damn note that said that Candy sucks in motherfucking, in locker rooms. I definitely believe that Sheree did that. So Angela's giving like a Sheree, like a bone collector, and stirring the pot just a tad bit, like I see her doing that. But she gets away with it just a tad bit because she seems to be a little smarter than we believe she is. Britt says that she feels provoked, but she doesn't want Kenya to feel like she wanted to harm her. Here's my thing. I'm trying to understand, how the hell did you feel provoked by anything? Because and we all know, let's be clear, Kenya been on this show since 2012, since I was 23. Bitch, I'm 36. So at the end of the day, we all know how Kenya can be now. We know that Kenya can be very provocative. We know that she can provoke people. She has provoked people in the past. But let's be clear. That girl ain't provoked you, Britney. She didn't do anything to provoke any action that you gave at that dinner table. You had your own issues and you didn't know how to handle said issue. So therefore, at the end of the day, she didn't provoke you. If anything, you were trying to provoke That's what you were doing. So you need to go somewhere and sit down somewhere. You know exactly what you was doing. You came on here with a goal, and your goal was to come at Kenya sideways. That's exactly what you were trying to do, and you thought you was gonna get that, and Kenya still stayed unbothered at that table. You've been looking for an issue. You've been looking for a problem. Ain't nobody provoked your ass. Period. Now, this was maybe about a decade ago. A couple of us would be sitting up here saying, oh, yeah, girl. Yeah, she provoked you, girl. I'm on your side. But a lot of us ain't on your side because a lot of us know that at the end of the day, you were not provoked in the least bit. In the least, you were not provoked. At the end of the day, you started the shit, and that's just what it is. So, we ain't finna do that. No. Britt chooses to make an effort to move forward. So now Britt is feeling apologetic. In so many words, production got in her ear and said, okay, Kenya feels threatened. You need to apologize. So now she's on damage control, and she wants to move forward and do whatever's necessary to move past this whole situation. But I guess Britt. So now we get into Kenya and Porsha. They're at Kenya Moore hair spa, and Porsha comes by to check on Kenya, and then Kelly arrives right after Porsha did. And that is when Kenya was like, now, are you too good? To my Porsha and Kelly, are you too good? Like, are y'all gonna knock shit over up in here? And it was like, oh no, we're good, we're fine, blah, 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 blah. So Porsha and Kelly, they're fine right about now, okay? So then that's when Kelly says, I really hate what happened between Kenya and Britt because, to be honest, I really like Kenya. So I really hate that this is happening between the two of them. And to be honest, I get where Kelly is actually coming from. Like, she really, like, she with Kenya, and, you know, as it looks, you know, Britt is her best friend, so of course she's riding the dime with Britt, but she likes Kenya, and you know, can't nobody be mad at her for liking Kenya. You feel what I'm saying? Like, she likes Kenya. So after that, the models come through. They're looking at the different models, and it's kind of giving, you know, the Bailey agency. You know how they was looking for the Jet Beauty of the Week that season that Kenya came on, and Kenya was talking about coochie crack, ass crack, coochie crack, all that. It was giving a little reminiscent of that. You feel what I'm saying? So they was looking at all the models, and you know, Kenya was like, I need me a Kenya Moore hair spa chat. And so the girl was like, okay, I think it's going like this. Kenya Moore hair spa, Kenya Moore hair spa, Kenya Moore hair spa. And I'm like, yes, give it to Miss Kenya Moore. Give her that Kenya Moore hair spa. So then that's when Kenya was like, oh my God, I am so nervous. I'm so nervous, but I'm very excited about this. Like, we've had soft openings and stuff like that. And all I really want is for this to go well. I want everybody to come. I need for this to go the way that I need it to. And this is what makes this whole episode sad, because this is her basically excited and nervous about, you know, doing a new venture and really like doing a damn thing for herself at this particular point. You feel what I'm saying? So it's so fucking sad and so annoying that we're going through this right now with Kenya. You feel what I'm saying? But whatever, we ain't made it to that point yet. So that's when Porsha said, well, did you invite everyone? She said, yeah, I invited everyone. You know what I mean? But I didn't formally invite her, but I invited everyone. And Porsha was like, girl, come on now. You invited everyone. Let's not. You invited everyone. You know what I mean? So then after that, that is when Porsha was like, no, Kelly said, I'm still confused about everything that transpired. That has transpired with everything. Like, I'm still confused about what happened last night, right? And so when she says that she's confused about what happened last night, that is when Porsha says, I feel like last night took a left turn. I don't know where everything went wrong. I don't know why Britt went in the direction that she did, but it's clear to me that it took a left turn and it shouldn't have went that way. And so after she said that, that is when Kenya says, I've done nothing to Britt to warrant her threatening me. I've done nothing to Britt. I've said nothing to Britt for her to even go that far with me. And that is one thing that I do agree with. When you have done nothing to someone and they choose to go left, you know what I mean? As an Aquarius like Kenya, that gets my goat. Like, that really makes me upset. Like, No, like with everything that we have gone through and stuff like that, like I have not said or done anything to Brit for her to be out here talking about whips and choppers and things like that. It's never that serious and it's never that necessary. So I definitely agree with what Kenya said. But Kelly said, but Brit is not that type of person. And I understand that Brit is trying to, I mean, Kelly is trying to stand firm on the side of her friend because to be honest, I ain't gonna lie, I couldn't take nobody sitting in front of my face talking about my friend, to be quite honest. There's no way that I could do that. But at the same point in time, Kenya said, you can't tell me that because she showed herself in that way. I don't know that girl like you do. And Kelly was like, well, all I'm saying is I don't know her to speak like that. I don't know her to talk like that. I don't know her to threaten nobody like that. Like, I don't know her to do those type of things. So that is where I'm at with it. And Kenya was like, that's fair. That's fair. But at the same time, Kelly, I get that you want to take up for your friend. But honey, if your friend offended somebody, your friend offended somebody. And that's just the truth of the matter. And there's really nothing that you can say or do to make her feel any less different than what she already feels at the end of the day. You feel what I'm saying? Like, because that's just the truth of the matter. Like, she feels how she feels, and there's really nothing more that you can say about it. You feel what I'm saying? Like, absolutely not. Like, that girl sat up there and threatened that lady, and there's really nothing that you can say or do to make her change her mind about that. She felt threatened, and that's that. And then Kenny says, I'm going to do a background check on her because it is what it is. But here's my thing about Kelly. And I don't believe it, but Kelly said that she did not hear Brit, threaten Kenya. But my thing is, how didn't you hear her threaten Kenya when you was right there next to her? Like, how can you say you didn't hear nothing that happened when she was right next to when you was right next to her? Like, I know you heard her. Unless editing made it look like y'all heard that everything that happened or everything that was said or something like that, unless editing made it look like you was standing right there and you heard everything. Other than that, absolutely not. You feel what I'm saying? So no. I don't understand how you could say that you didn't hear shit. I just don't get how you feel like you didn't. You feel what I'm saying? So yeah. So we're gonna move on to the next part. So we get into Angela. Now, Angela's sitting down having lunch with her daughter, Amori, and she says that she was a single mom with her very first daughter after her daughter's father was unalived. Amari was sitting down here telling Angela that she had a dispute with her grandmother and her aunt. That sounds like me. I don't fuck with the grandmama, nor do I fuck with the aunt. And at this point, I probably don't fuck with the cousins either at this point. Like, that's just where I'm at with it. Y'all know I don't give a fuck about cutting off no family members at this point in my lifetime. So I get it. I get getting into it with your grandmama. I get getting into it with your auntie. I definitely get it because I ain't fucking with one of them. They got into it over a car. She was trying to use the car that her mother bought for her grandmother, and the auntie came in and had something to say about it, and they didn't got into it, child. I mean, it is what it is. After that, we find out that Angela's mother is bipolar. So there's a lot going on with this family dynamic, and I'm very interested to see more of this because I don't know what it is about family stories, but it's always very interesting on Housewives when we see these families going through the things that they are going through in their lives and stuff like that. And sometimes we can, sometimes relate to these things because when it comes down to dysfunctional families, especially the narcissistic families and stuff like that, and being a family scapegoat, I definitely can understand that and definitely can write a book on being a family scapegoat, honey. I promise you I can. But that's another story time for a whole nother day, honey. Okay. However, where we at? Then we find out that Amori got married and didn't even tell Angela. And not to mention, Angela is also conflicted with her mother and her daughter because she says that she doesn't understand why her mother did not step in and defend her daughter's honor at that particular moment. And I'm just like, well, girl, she probably didn't defend your daughter because, your daughter grown as shit and she probably feel like your daughter can defend herself. But who knows, honey? Who knows? I want to know why Amori got married without her mama knowing. I really want to know what was her purpose of doing something like that. Because because the way that Angela describes her relationship with her daughter, she describes it as a way, as a relationship like they're very close. They tell each other everything. They have this best friend relationship. They've been close ever since the day that her daughter's father, ever since Amori's father passed away. So she gives this idea that they're very close. So if you're close like you say you are, then why don't you know about your daughter's engagement or your your daughter getting married? I feel like y'all are really not as close as y'all would like to make it out to be. And I think that's why a lot of people feel like there are holes in some of Angela's stories when it come down to her family. Like I saw a couple of people saying that. You feel what I'm saying? A lot of people are saying that there's a whole lot of stuff that Angela is saying that we really don't know about. Hey, Lexi, since you're here, I don't know how to get in contact with you, but I wanted to do a video with you because I relate to your story about being like the family scapegoat, and I wanted to do a video basically discussing it together because it's always great to know somebody that actually knows how that feels. I know that ain't got nothing to do with what I'm talking about, but since you in here, I don't know how to reach you. I was gonna ask T how to get in contact with you and stuff, but I definitely am interested in doing that. But yeah, so I don't know. I don't know what's really going on with Angela and her family. Maybe she was embarrassed to tell her or not as close. Who wouldn't want to tell their mom that they're married? That they're married? Weird. Yeah, like if I got married, I would want my mama to know. So I don't know. I don't know what that is. I don't know what that's about. Why it was like that or anything like that. Like that's the part that really kind of tripped me out and was very goddamn confusing. I could tell you that. So I don't know. But maybe just like Britney said, I feel like Amori snuck off and got married to someone that they wouldn't approve of and stuff like that. So I think that I kind of agree with this. I kind of feel like that's what happened, but I don't know. You feel what I'm saying? But anyway, we're about to go ahead and get into the next scene. And shout out to the over 500 people that is in this live. Shout out to the Scotty gang, honey. We are headed towards 600 people. If you are brand new to the platform, honey, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, baby. Hit that subscribe button and join the Scotty gang, baby. Join the Scotty gang. We're at 500 people. Over 500 people at that. So, no, before we go into the next scene, I'm sorry. I don't understand why. Hey, Andario. I don't understand why the hell Amari felt like she was being ganged up on by her mama because her mama felt sad. Your mama feels sad about this whole situation because she your mama and she don't know that you got married. Like, what you talking about? What you talking about? So no, you can't. I don't like for people to be dismissive, and I just felt like that was a very dismissive ass thing. Like, I don't think that she was doing that. So we get into Porsha. She's meeting up with Britt for lunch, and Porsha wants to get down to the bottom of everything. Britt says that she took things way too far with Kenya. You think? You think you went too far? Because here's my thing, Britt. What was the point of that? I don't even understand why you felt the need to even go so hard the way that you did. Like, for real. Like, she answered your question. She could speak nicely to you. What's your whole point? You did go too goddamn far. You did, and you know you did. So that's really it with that. Portia's confused. Britt says, I feel like I thought that me and Kenya were cool, but then when she gets within the group, she puts on for the group. I don't understand how you feel like she puts on for the group. Why do you feel like she puts on for the group? If anybody's putting on for something, it's you. Because Kenya ain't did nothing to you to make you be so pressed by her. And see, that's how I feel about a lot of these folks when it comes down to where reality, where how they be so fucking pressed about me when I barely even open my mouth and say anything to them bitches, and they always be pressed about me. I don't even be knowing them, and they be mad with me about anything. People will find a reason to be mad at you, and I just feel like at the end of the day, like people would just poke holes and poke, and try to find a reason to be mad and try to find a reason to be talking shit about you and all this other stuff. And I feel like a lot of it be other people's insecurities. A lot of people's insecurities influences the way that it influences them to be pressed by other people. Why are you so pressed and why are you so bothered by this lady who ain't even did nothing to you? Like, that's the part that don't make sense to me. But yeah, Britney is very invested in all that shit. For those of you who are doing all caps, please try not to do all caps. That creates issues when y'all are typing in all caps. This is the reason why the moderators ask you guys not to do all caps, is for a reason. It becomes, YouTube think you're a bot, or you're spam, or you're something like that. So please don't do the all caps. Thanks, and you're welcome. Where am I at? Thank you, Brandon Brown, honey. Where we at? So she says that she feels like she's targeted by Kenya. How are you targeted by Kenya? You're the only one with an issue with Kenya. An issue that's not even there. I don't even understand that. Why do you feel like that girl is sitting up here targeting you? If anybody's doing a targeting, it's you, Britt. You're the one doing the targeting, sweet love. You're the one doing the targeting. I don't understand how you don't see how you are the one that's doing the motherfucking targeting. It's you. It's you. You're the goddamn target. You are. So I don't fucking understand why you're saying that Kenya's targeting you. That lady barely said anything to you. You've been mad with her ever since the ring comment and stuff like that. Like, absolutely not. I'm not here. I'm not here for that. I'm not here for it. I don't like it. It's annoying. I can't take it. Like, don't play the victim here. Porsha says that Kenya was afraid. And Britt starts saying, well, I'm in a situation that I would probably never be in with people I'd never be around. It doesn't really matter about that. You should know how to control yourself in settings like that, especially a setting like that. I'm about to find myself in settings just like that, but I know how to conduct myself. I know how to behave myself. I know how to draw back. I know how to cuss you the fuck out if I need to. I know how to stand my ground without being loud and boisterous. And I know how to stand my ground without being a threatening person and also stepping out of my lane to get violent. I know exactly what to do and what not to do. You are old enough to know what to do and what not to do. And I feel like with every scene that you're in, you're trying your best to make yourself out to be the victim, and you're not one. That's the thing. You're not a victim in this whole situation. You chose to threaten that lady. You chose to say all that bull crap about that lady, and you know that you were wrong for it. That's what you know that you were wrong for the bull. You know what I mean? Like, it is what it is. So I don't get it. I don't understand. And it is what it is. So that's the thing that I don't get and that I don't understand. You feel what I'm saying? Like, it's the fact that you are sitting up here trying to play games. And there's really no need to be playing games and doing all this other extra shit. Like, come on, girl. Anyway, moving on. Britt says that she would never do anything to hurt Kenya and she had no real issues with her. Yeah, we know you didn't have no real issues with her. And how are we supposed to know that you would never do anything to hurt Kenya when you were the one who made the threats in the first place? So how are we supposed to be content with the fact that you said, oh, I would never do anything to try to harm or hurt Kenya, when you came out and said you got choppers and you got whips and you got this and you got all that? Like, girl, what? Girl, anytime you say stuff like that, that means you're capable of doing something to me. And I feel like you're saying all this to keep your peach. That is the thing, because I feel like what happened, and if I'm wrong, tell me I'm wrong, but this is what I think happened. I really feel like Kenya went to production and she said that she felt threatened. Production went to Brit and probably told Brit, in order for your ass to stay on this show, you need to do damage control, go apologize to every Tom, Dick, Harry, Susan, Betty, whatever, and apologize and be apologetic so you can stay on this show. So you can look like you learn from your mistake. Like, do all that. I feel like that's what happened. That's what I think. I think that's what fucking happened. Angela. Angela's getting ready for Kenya's event. She wants Charles to go with her to the event. And Charles is like, well, that's a woman's event. Why would I want to go? That's an event full of women. I don't want to go to that. All this other shit. So she was like, I would like for you to go to support me. Girl, that ain't supporting you. Girl, just go to the event by yourself. That man don't want to go to no damn beauty event. You know what I mean? Like, that girl, that man don't want to go to no damn beauty event. Angela tells Charles, well, you know, last night at the, well, you know what happened at the, what is it? At the dinner, Porsha says that she got tea on you. And I'm just trying to understand, what tea does Porsha have on you? And then then Charles was like, she got tea on me. And she was like, yeah, she claimed she got tea on you. Then she was like, Porsha barking up the wrong tree. She better keep my name out of her mouth. She better go on somewhere else and start barking up the wrong tree. Cause this ain't it right here. This ain't it. She barking up the wrong tree. And let me tell y'all, I sincerely believe that Porsha is barking up the wrong tree when Charles say that. I definitely believe that. Shout out to 628 people that's up in this live, honey. I definitely appreciate you guys being here. I definitely do apologize. Let me see where we at. So then that is when Angela is trying to tell Charles about the situation that's going on with her sister and her mom. And Charles said, baby, I don't want to hear that shit. Why'd you sitting up here telling me about this shit with your family? I ain't got nothing to do with that. There's them your family issues. I ain't got nothing to do with that. Leave me the hell out of your family issues. And Angela says, well, my husband's relationship with my mama and my sister is very non-existent. But for the most part, it's kind of like this. He'll speak but I got to make sure I hear him speak, because otherwise he ain't going to say nothing to her. He ain't going to say nothing to neither one of them. Charles is my type of guy, though, honestly. Like, I do have my qualms about him. Like, he do be dismissive to Angela sometimes, in my opinion, from the way it looks to me. He do be kind of dismissive to her ass quite a bit. But at the same time, he don't mince his words, and he's very true to what the fuck he say. Because if he don't fuck with you, he don't fuck with you. He kind of reminds me of Byron from Basketball Wives. That's the tea that he gives off to me. So I don't know. But I'm kind of here for Charles, because he gonna speak his mind now, whether you want to hear it or not. He gonna speak his mind, honey. So now the actual moment that everybody been waiting to see and talk about, we're gonna get into Kenya Moore hair spa, y'all. And I'm gonna tell y'all this. This is the shit that we all been waiting to see since it came out in the press that this happened. Okay? One thing about it and two things for certain. One thing they did do tonight was give us commercial after commercial after commercial, okay? Too many motherfucking commercials, if you ask me. Way too many motherfucking commercials. I promise you they gave us way too many. And I'm just like, girl, how many commercials y'all gonna give? Like, what the, you know what I'm saying? Like, how many commercials y'all gonna give? Very anticlimactic. Very. Okay? Now, here's the thing. I feel so many ways about this situation, and I'm gonna need for you all to hear me. I'm gonna need for y'all to take fan glasses off, whether you like Kenya or you don't like her. Take your glasses off. I want y'all to listen to what I'm saying, because, like I said, I have a lot to say about everybody pretty much. So y'all know I pride myself on being, what is it? Pride myself on being unbiased. So y'all got to listen to what I'm saying. And I gotta put another disclaimer out. Let's get into that one too.
This way y'all finna probably get pissed off, and I'm okay with that. Okay, I'm cool with that. Please stay mad and get mad. Okay, stay mad, get mad, have a great day, whatever. Feel away. I don't give a damn.
Now I put that out there just in case somebody gets mad about whatever I'm about to say. I'm just gonna tell y'all that. Now, let's get into it. The first thing that I saw was that Miss Lawrence was here. And it's always good to see people from the past make their appearance on the show. We ain't seen Miss Lawrence on Real Housewives of Atlanta in quite some time. So it was very nice to see Miss Lawrence on the show. I remember when he was a staple on that damn show. Him and Derek J. Those were the good old days. But it was good to see Miss Lawrence there. I see that Akilla was there. I see Ming Lee was there. I guess she was still trying to test to get a picture and shit. I see that Monietta was there, and I told y'all I met Monietta before. That is a sweetheart. I love Monietta. We follow each other on Instagram, but I love Monietta. We met at the Candy Carries event. She was so sweet to me and Jamie, very sweet. So, you know, everybody was just arriving, taking pictures, you know, being interviewed by the people in there and stuff like that, right? So, Britt, she wants to extend an olive branch to Kenya. You know, she's been apologetic on her apology tour for quite some time now. You feel what I'm saying? So it's kind of like, okay, you know, I want to extend an olive branch. I want to bring her flowers. I know that this is very important to Kenya, and I just want to make things right. You know, I only want to make things right. You know, that's what she basically been saying the whole episode, basically. But, you know, who knows? So, let me see. Let me see. Where we at? So then, we go into Cynthia, Shamia, and Porsha. They're discussing Brit because, you know, Cynthia really don't know what happened because she wasn't there, but she heard that, you know, they was like Lil Boosie and they set it off in his mother. That's what it's coming across as. Drew and Angela, they discussed Britt, Drew, and Angela. They discussed the whole situation with Britt and how she went off on what is it, on Kenya for no reason. They talk about, you know, Cynthia asked Porsha, has she talked to Drew, and she was like, no, and she don't have any intentions on doing it. And then that's when Cynthia also stated that she was surprised that Shamia and Angela were having like a little quick key at Shamia's home. You feel what I'm saying? So she's glad that everybody got past everything. So then Britt was basically saying that she lost her auntie. She got all this stuff going on. Her emotions is all over the place. And then this stuff with Kenya is just a lot going on. You are turning on that sympathy button real hard, Britt. You are. And I can't blame the girl for trying, because she really trying. Like, she turning on that sympathy thing real quick. You feel what I'm saying? And here's the thing with that girl. You need to, it's not working for you. It's really not. It's not working for you in the least bit, Britt, because you already made your bed, so you really need to lay in it, to be quite honest, because this sympathy shit is not gonna work. Like, yeah, your auntie died, mine died too. They just buried her last weekend, you know. Your auntie died, and I have sympathy for you and all of that other stuff, but girl, it's not working. It's not working, and the audience are not buying it. Now, let me pull up to Feisty's remarks. She says, and that's why I said Brit's producer did her job. Whoever is Brit's producer, they produced the hell out of Brit, and their whole goal was to keep her ass on this show so she can continue to reign havoc, and they did a great job with Brit. What they did was they made Brit look hella sympathetic, and they made her look like she was really trying to make things right with Kenya. And then that's how it looks. So that's why people are saying this episode was very much so produced. You can tell when the episode is absolutely produced. That's what it is. So yes, I definitely agree with that. Shout out to the 700 people that's up in here. The people are in the building tonight. And if you're new to the platform, y'all better hit that subscribe button. I'm telling you. So Kenya walks over to Angela, and Angela, she tells Angela, thank you so much for being the only person out of everybody to check in on me. You were the only person that called me to see how I was doing. Like, you were the only one. And Angela was like, I was. And she was like, yeah. And then, Angela was like, well, I was just trying to make sure that you're okay. I really did not like what happened. I don't like what went down. And I'm on your side. I'm definitely on your side. Angela is full of shit, y'all. She messy as hell and she full of shit. I just want y'all to fucking know that. She full of shit. Very messy, very full of shit. Because you wrote that question at that dinner. You wrote that question to acknowledge Brit's feelings, and you were saying that you had Brit's back, and now all of a sudden, I'm on your side. Oh, yes, I'm on your side, girl. I'm on your side. Sneaky as hell. She gonna go wherever the wind blows. Now, watch what I tell you. Watch what I tell you, honey. Okay? Watch what I tell you. So then, Brit tells Kelly that she was wrong. Like she said, I know that I was wrong. I know that I should have never threatened King. I know I should have never said this. And I really feel horrible for what I said and what I did. And I really want to make this right. So Brit and Kelly, she arrives. They both arrive. So then Porsha goes over to Brit. She hugs Brit. And she says, I'm surprised to see you here, but I'm very happy to see you here. Like, I'm very happy that you showed up. And Britt was like, I just want to make things right. I just want to make things right now. Like, I just want to make sure that everything is good. Like, I just want to make amends with this girl. Like, because what I did really wasn't warranted. And I'm saying, girl, what the like, you're really laying it on thick with this sympathy and looking apologetic. But you're doing what you're supposed to do to keep your job, man. That's what you're doing. So then that's when Drew comes in, and Drew gives hugs to everybody, and she walks over to Porsha, and Porsha shades Drew once again, dismisses Drew once again. And that's when Drew just confronts Porsha, and she's like, listen, like, I really don't understand what the issue is. I don't know why you so mad. Like, we really need to have a discussion about this, because I really don't see why you're so upset with me right now. And it's just like, to me, and Drew said, we were supposed to meet up. We were supposed to do this. We were supposed to do that. And then Porsha talks about, it's just that I found out more stuff about her. And it just made me feel like, okay, I'm good on you. Like, that's just the truth of the matter. But my thing is this, though. My thing is this. Porsha, you're only constantly dragging this Drew thing out because you don't have nothing else to give and nothing else to offer. That is the only reason why you're doing the absolute most in this scene with Drew. Because just like Drew said, we're both going through divorces and all this other shit. Like, we need to be trying to stick together and be cool. But Porsha don't want to be cool with you. Porsha don't want to be cool with you, and sometimes you just got to own up. You just got to deal with the fact that a motherfucker just want to stay mad with you, and that's just what it is. We all have to learn those lessons. Sometimes motherfuckers just want to be mad with you. No matter what, they just want to be mad. There's nothing for them to be mad about, so they're going to find something to be mad. And we know that Drew and Dennis ain't fucking around. We already know that. So why are you even trying to continuously perpetuate this fucking storyline and try to get everybody to believe that you're so damn mad with Drew? I don't understand that. And just like Drew said, at this point, it's nothing. I'm not going to keep on trying. You don't need to keep on trying, because if you keep trying, it's going to look like you kissing her ass at this point. You feel what I'm saying? So it is what it is. Porsha can't talk about Simon, so she needs to beef with somebody in order to keep that storyline intact. That's the only reason why she going at Drew, so she don't have to talk about her own shit. Drew is full of shit, and I'm glad that, she had Porsha ass press the fuck down, because she did. And Porsha just walked away, and Drew was over there looking like a bag of money, not giving a damn about how pressed and bothered Porsha ass really was, because that's what it was. Thank you, TJ Naturally, for the super, I think it's a super sticker. Is it a super sticker, super chat? Yeah, super chat. Thank you for the super chat, love. I appreciate you. Y'all giving out super chats. I might whip them a cash up out here, child. But anyway, it was unwarranted, and it's like, girl, what is your motherfucking problem? Like, why are you so bothered and so pressed by this girl and shit like that? Because Drew really ain't did nothing. And it's just the fact that everybody is really trying to make it seem like Porsha is somehow the victim in this whole thing, and she's not. She's being an asshole. She's being an asshole, and there's nothing else. But she's just mad because Drew pulled a Porsha on Porsha. That's all that is. Because you filmed with Fallon and you went in her house and left with her wine and her husband. That's what you did. And now you mad that Drew filming with your baby daddy. Girl, grow up. So when Britt comes in with some flowers. She gives Kenya the flowers. And she's like, I'm sorry, Kenya, blah, 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 blah. And Kenya just ignores her. And so Britt is like, so she's going to ignore me? Like, okay, so she wants to ignore me. All right, that's fine. I'll just leave. So Britt gets ready to leave. She hugs everybody before she leaves. And she walks out the door. Then Kenya starts giving this scathing speech about how she's worked very hard on getting this salon off the ground and all the things that she's done, and how there are people out there that wants to be a hater and bring her down. And I'm like, oh my God, what is she doing? So she goes on into her scathing speech, and she starts saying that this bitch that was just here who gave me these fake ass flowers, and be sure to throw these away. And then Kelly was like, what, can you give me the card? And then, that's when King was like, I don't want that card. Go and burn that shit and blah, 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 right? So Kenya continues to go on. And I'm like, you kicked and screamed about this event, and you kicked and screamed about production not showing your work and showing what you're doing, and you take this opportunity to give this girl all this shine that she don't deserve. Let's be clear. You decided to give her all this shine that her ass don't motherfucking deserve at all. You gave it to her now. You made your whole event about a peasant that is beneath your ass. Literally and figuratively, you allowed yourself to get that fired up over a tweet that don't even matter. Brit is nothing but a mosquito that buzzes in your ear. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I don't even understand why you even allowed that to even happen. Like, the speech was fine. You could have talked about your haters, but at the same point in time, you did not have to make that whole moment be about Brit. And that is where you fucked up at. That's exactly where you fucked up at. You made this whole thing about her. If you want to get on her ass, you could have. I'm not telling nobody how they're supposed to react. I promise you. I'm just giving y'all my opinion. You got every right to retaliate against Brit for threatening you. You got every right. But what I'm saying is there's a time and a place for everything, and there's a way to do shit. You feel what I'm saying? And the fact is, you wanted to wait to your event to do that. And I feel like you could have waited till Brit had an event to really pop off and let her have it. You could have ruined her event. Don't ruin your own event for this bullshit for a person that don't even matter. Like, you smart, girl. Like, what you mean? Like, I would never in my life use my motherfucking event where I'm supposed to be celebrated for me doing something that is major for me as a Black woman and a Black entrepreneur. I would never use that moment to give it to someone that is like an ant to me. Like, elephants don't swat flies. And Kenya, you an elephant, and you allowed yourself to swat a damn fly that could have flew away and never would have been seen again. You feel what I'm saying? So absolutely not. I felt like that is the only issue that I got with Kenya in this whole thing, is that she allowed herself to be taken out of character at her own event. I have no problem with you exposing her, No problem. But you could have done it at another time in a different way. That's all I'm saying with that. Then she pulls out the poster boards. And she shows her from back in the day being like a video groupie, video hoe, and all this other stuff. But then she pulls out another one where it's like maybe on video pictures and stuff like that, her showing her with a in her mouth and all this other shit. You feel what I'm saying? Like, that's what that was. And so I'm like, yeah, that is the part where she lost me at. If you was going to reveal her on past, you could have, but not like that. You could have said, my private investigator gave me this. You could have had the tea that your private investigator gave, but you didn't have to show the photos. You could have just flat out exposed her for being a porn star or something like that in the past. You could have said that. You could have said, oh, and I got the receipts, I got pictures, but you didn't have to show the pictures. I think that is the part that got you like completely fucked up. You feel what I'm saying? Because you showed that part. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like that's what happened. You feel what I'm saying? So you went and got a whole private investigator who went and got all this information. But like I said, you could have exposed her, but you shouldn't have exposed the pics. And I think that by you exposing those pics, that's what got you out of here. That's what got you out of here, to be honest. No. That's where you messed up at. And I know that there's a lot of Team Twirl that follow me, and I'm here for it. I like the Team Twirl. I think Team Twirl, I don't think they hate me too much. They don't like my friend, but I don't think they hate me too much because I'm not necessarily Team Twirl, but I be seeing things from all sides, so they don't really give me no issues. But for the most part, I'm going to say that Kenya really herself over by showing those photos. And so Shamia, Porsha, and Angela, they all feel like Kenya went too far. And when Shamia said, come on, Kenya, that's going a little too far. And then that's when Kenya was like, she threatening me. Don't tell me how far to go and all this other stuff. So I'm just like, okay, what's the, like, I get it. She threatened you. But retaliating that way is not the way to go, Kenya. Expose her, tell her business, do all of that. But to show the photos, that is why you're in the predicament that you are in. And that's how I feel. You have done a lot of stuff that is campy and outlandish on this show, which is mostly most of Kenya Moore's moments. Like, she's done campy, outlandish shit like the Kenya Moore hair care, Kenya Moore hair care. That part. Like, that is very campy. Or the situation where, you came in with the butt pads on and pretended to be Phaedra. That's a Kenya Moore moment. That's campy stuff. You could have did some shit like that. You didn't have to do that. And that is why you got up. And I'm gonna need y'all gonna have to be real and face the reality that Kenya did this to herself. She did it to herself, y'all. And it's sad to say, and I hate to say it, but she did it to herself. That is just the truth of the matter. She fucked herself over by showing those pictures. She fucked herself over by showing those photos. And I think and that is the reason why she got suspended. And I think the reason why Brit didn't get suspended, and I just want y'all to know, please don't throw no tomatoes at me. Please don't throw anything at me. Please don't be mad at me. But I feel like the reason why Brit was able to get away with the threats and still stay on that show, because her producer put her on damage control. That's the reason why she was able to get away with it. That is the reason why Kenya got suspended and Britney did not. Because I know a lot of us was like, if she threatened Kenya, then why isn't she fired and Kenya's not fired? why is she not fired, but Kenya gets suspended? And I feel like watching this episode, it shows why things turned out the way that they turned out. Is because Britney went on a whole apology tour. She came there apologetic with flowers in her hand, trying to extend the olive branch and apologize to Kenya. And Kenya didn't want to hear that, and she resorted to showing those photos. You feel what I'm saying? She apologized on camera. She did this, she did that. You feel what I'm saying? So that is what I think. That is what I feel. And that is the reason why they stopped filming with her due to that situation. So we can't really be mad at the network, really, because they probably felt like their hands were tied. You know what I mean? They probably felt like, well, Britney apologized, so we're going to keep her around. She's going to apologize to Kenya. Kenya can either accept it or not, and then we're going to move forward. You feel what I'm saying? But then it's kind of like, at the same point in time, it's like Britney lied and said that she never threatened nobody when she literally did threaten somebody. You feel what I'm saying? Let me see where we at. Yeah, but Shamia, Porsha, and Angela feel like Kenya went too far. They all decided to leave. Cynthia says that she didn't like what Kenya did. She feels like Kenya is above all of this. This is beneath her, and that she loves her, but she can't be there and she gotta go. You feel what I'm saying? And so it's like, yeah, that is that's the thing of the matter. You feel what I'm saying? Like, that is what's going on here. You feel what I'm saying? So yeah. And here we go with people hearing what they want to hear. Just because she apologized doesn't make it right. A threat is a threat, whether it precedes an apology or not. Did I say that? Did I say that? Did I say that? I need to know. Did I say that? I'm trying to see, when did I say that? Let me see. Child, these medicine wives did not need a third part. Okay, going back to the bushes. Oh my God, T, I cannot. Okay, so I didn't say that. Okay. I was literally saying, let me see. I carry everywhere. Just telling someone I have my pow is not a threat. It's other factors that constitute a threat. Yes, you did. I did not say that. That is not what I said at all. I didn't say that. You didn't say that, Scott. Thank you, Brandy. Shout out to you. Let me see. Hey, giving you the real tea. I was speaking in reference as to what you said may have been the reason that Bravo made the decision that they made. But that's probably, okay, but that's probably the truth. That's probably the truth. Y'all don't have to like it, but if you look at it, like I said, y'all need to take y'all fan glasses off. That is not what I said. Why are y'all putting words in my mouth? That is not what I said. That's not what I said at all. Anyway, look at the episode. Look at the episode. Judging by the way it was produced and judging by the way it came out, Britney was on an apology tour. Britney was taking accountability. Britney was saying she wants to make things right with Kenya. So because she was apologetic, looking at the show, they probably feel like she was trying to diffuse the situation by apologizing and trying to make things better with Kenya. But then Kenya chose to show those photos. So it's kind of like, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna keep Brit here because she was apologetic. You feel what I'm saying? So that's what it was. Kenya was not awarded the same grace, Scotty. She was cut off immediately. Okay, but did I say that was right? I'm telling you why I feel like they did what they did. Let's be clear. See, this is what I mean by people are hearing what they want. Just because I'm saying it, that doesn't mean that I agree with the decision that they made. Let's be clear. It doesn't mean that I agree with it. I'm telling you all that I feel like that is why they chose to make the decision that they made. And not to mention, after it happened, Kenya went online and said she would be vindicated. This doesn't vindicate her, in my opinion. It doesn't. Let me see. I thought I saw a super chat. Because this chat going by real fast. Oh, there you go. Why didn't they let Brit meet up with Kenya before to apologize? Why did they have to wait until her event to apologize? That's a good question. That's a good question. Because I feel like that's what they should have done. But who's to say that Kenya wanted to have a one-on-one with her? Kenya probably didn't feel comfortable having a one-on-one with Brit. She already felt threatened. So why would she want to have a one-on-one with her? You feel what I'm saying? Did y'all say my video was featured? Was a YouTube feature? Now my video being listed as a YouTube feature after being slick shadow banned. Shit, they finally giving me my tens, letting me be featured and shit. You feel what I'm saying? So here's my thing. So because I know T is about to go live in a minute, and I'm trying to get his link so y'all can go ahead so I can pin it in the chat and stuff like that. But I just want to say this. I do feel like there should have been there should have been some punishment to go around. I feel like this. Brit should have been suspended for making the threats, and Kenya should have been suspended for, the photos. That's what I think. I think that Kenya kind of overplayed her hand just a tad bit in this situation, in my opinion. I feel like she kind of, overplayed her hand with the whole thing, and she wasn't aware of what they were doing, because just like we've been saying, the production team, whoever is Brit's producer, they worked overtime to make her look like the innocent one in this situation, like made her look sympathetic and apologetic and things like that. So at the end of the day, sometimes when you do stuff to people, some people would, probably you take it there and I'm gonna take it to hell, and that's what Kenya did. I may not agree with what Kenya did, but I kind of understand where she's coming from and why she felt the need to respond. But I just don't agree with the way she did it and how she did it and where she did it at. Because you took your own shine away from you and made it about Brit. You feel what I'm saying? So that's the only thing. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I feel like that's the only thing that I disagree with. Like, you made that whole thing about Brit and not about you. You could have exposed her ass at a one-on-one sit down, to be quite honest. That's what I believe. But to each his own. I think Brit was wrong for threatening Kenya. Kenya was wrong for putting the photos out. She could have exposed her porn past without showing the photos. She could have did it without that. You feel what I'm saying? Now, I know that a lot of people that are Team Kenya are probably not gonna watch the season after this episode airs. I don't know if Kenya gonna be on the next episode or not, but I know a lot of Teen Twirl ain't here for Kenya at this moment, and I understand why. I mean, I know a lot of Teen Twirl are not here for the show at this moment. They wasn't here for the show at all either. So I don't know, but there's a lot that there's a lot to go along with this. There's a lot of stuff that goes on behind the scenes. I feel like production don't like Kenya, and you can tell that they don't like Kenya. I feel like production and Kenya have had issues for quite some time now. So that's also a part of the problem here, and the way that they chose to deal with it. But I do hope that Kenya gets a chance to come to the reunion and address it, and we can move on from it. That's all that I can say. But y'all, that's all that I got. I'm about to go ahead and get up off of here because T is about to go live. And I just want to send a special thanks to all of the Scotty gang. It was over 800 people in here. We almost hit 900. But thank you guys for doing y'all due deals and supporting me and just, doing y'all thing. T's link is pinned in the chat. So all of us about to go over here to T's page right now. He's going live in about 4 minutes. And I will see you guys on the next one. Until then, bye.
It's on some whole shit. What happened to the Zeus fame? Then Bobby made you change your name. For a show, still searching for a ring. Pray these hoes find better days. Cut off everybody. Don't trust nobody. Play with everybody. Don't have nobody. Cut off everybody. Don't trust nobody. Play with everybody. Don't have nobody. Nobody. Nigga never was a real one. Copping, please, spreading lies. What you hiding from? All these shows just an extra.
Hey, Muddy, bring that bitch back in.
Lick me, fuck me, cream me, taste me.